Devils United. Well, we are back. I know it's been a long time since we made our previous video. I guess it was way back in January.
January, yeah.
Sagar.
Yes. I think it was
But
like 2 months back, I guess.
yeah, it's been long. Both
Yeah.
me and Saga, we got really busy because we graduated with
Right.
master's degree in December, and this was the time for us to look out for jobs, interviews. So both of us were got involved in that, and that did not give us a lot of time to make content for you all. But we tried to stay active on the social media platforms.
Hmm.
So, please do find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and we'll post the links to all of our social media feeds in the video description below. And before we move ahead, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. And now let's head into our discussion for today. For today. So Sagar, it's a lot of things have happened in the
Yeah.
time that we were not here and making videos. Man United signed Bruno Fernandez and went on an amazing run.
Yeah.
I think in the last 11 games we have eight wins with
Yeah.
7 clean sheets,
Hmm.
and we've been scoring goals aplenty.
Right.
Bruno has changed the game for us, and
Hmm.
right now the games are stopped. Like our fantastic run has been stopped by the spread of the coronavirus,
Hmm.
and world over, everybody's in lockdown. Both me and Sagar, like we still, we're in our own houses, not able to go out. And we thought, why not make a video about United and let's start working on this again. So,
Right.
thoughts on the developments so far?
I think the first thing we need to acknowledge, as you said, is it's been quite a long time since we made a video, and a lot of changes have occurred in the meanwhile. So it's kind of a very, very new situation for us generation, because we have not actually faced anything like this where everything is in lockdown, and the only way out for us was kind of look out for weekend games, and that too was stopped for us. Like we are still not having any content of any kind. So it's kind of little different, if I can say that, a bit different and kind of new for us. So still trying to get used to what we can do. So that's why, like you said, it's a good thing that we are starting to make content again and come out with content and discuss different scenarios which can happen given the current situation. So that's really good. And like you said, Bruno Fernandez has been a revelation for us, and it was a joy to watch, like the last couple of games before everything was shut down. So
Hmm.
Bruno Fernandez, I think he won like 2 Player of the Month awards, I guess, before everything closed down. So
I
he
think I
was
just.
really good.
Oh yeah, no, just the one.
Just the one, yeah, yeah,
February.
yeah.
And stats show like he's been a better performer compared to Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City in the first months at the clubs.
Right.
Like with
Right. People have been
stats
saying
as
like
well.
it's kind of maybe a bounce where a
Uh-huh.
new player comes in and lifts the whole team, and we suddenly start seeing results. But I don't think that might be the case with Bruno Fernandes. He might like, it's fair to say that he will drop off at some point in time, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, he is a quality player and he has been showing his class on the pitch. So that's really, really refreshing to see. So I was watching his interview with Sky Sports, I think. So before the
Uh-huh.
Tottenham game got cancelled, so he was asked this exact question where he said he was asked, maybe it's just because of him United are doing well. So he said like his response was quite brilliant, where he said like it's not depending on one player, but it's the reason being he's a player who wants the ball at his feet, so that makes everyone lift their game as well. So
Yeah.
everyone notices that he's making those runs. He is in space, so everyone is trying to find him, and that's where you see kind of the movement happening within the team and scoring those goals. So that was really good to see, and I think Odion Igalo has been a good signing as well. Like,
Yeah, I was going
come,
to ask you about our
yeah,
second mystery signing that
yeah,
has turned out to be like pivotal for United up front,
mm,
especially in the strike department. You know,
right,
with Martial now having competition for places, you know, that's the world of good.
right,
Expected Igalo to do what he's done.
right,
He thought he would be, you know, he would just be there to make numbers, come up in the 80th,
yeah,
90th
yeah,
minute, and play for 10 minutes. But this has
yeah.
been a breakthrough for Odion Igalo as well.
Right, absolutely. I really hope it's not the last time we see Igalo in a United shirt.
Mm-hmm.
He scored a brace, right, for during the last game. So I really hope he
For against
stays.
Lasik,
Yeah,
I
last,
think he
yeah,
scored the one goal against Lasik.
yeah. I think
That
it
was
was
a
a good
belter
goal,
of a
nice
goal.
one. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean
That's
that
correct.
control, you know, two nice little volleys on his feet and a straight
Yeah,
shot in on
that
top.
was really good. So yeah, that's why I think he might be he might stay at United for the next season as well. And I think he's also willing to take a pay cut for it. So that's nice to see, and why not? He's living his dream as well. So why not? We would like to have someone as a backup for Martial going into the next season, or maybe when the game resumes. So let's see what happens. What
But
happens?
like, would you be willing to pay 15 million pounds for Odion Igalo, as it has been shown in media outlets that the
Yeah.
Chinese side that he played for would
Hmm.
be demanding for money, and that there was no you know, buyout clause inserted in his loan deal.
Hmm.
The Chinese club has seen him perform well, and they've raised their
Right.
price all of a sudden. You know, would it
Yeah.
be like would it be practical for us to just go out and buy him for 15 million, or should we go out and look at, you know, another striker, say Timo Werner, who's also, you know, willing to move out of Leipzig?
Yeah. So to be very honest, I personally would go after Timo Werner, but I think the current priority for United should be to get a right winger because that's where we lack at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So after we get a right winger, if Timo Werner or someone of that kind is available for reasonable amount of money, because after the season starts, it's going to be really inflated. The markets are going to be inflated because everyone knows that you really want that player. You need that player to be in the team, so everyone is going to ask ridiculous amounts of money for them. So
But I feel
that's really important to see that we get a player at a reasonable price.
But I think with the games being stalled and players not being able to play, wouldn't player values drop? Like everybody's expecting player values to drop, you know, as soon
Mm,
as the transfer market opens. I don't know when the transfer market will open this time around. I think everybody
right,
will be pushed back by a month and a half.
right,
With contracts running out, players not playing, you know, performance levels would dip.
right.
See, you know, in the player transfer fees dropping down to some reasonable levels now.
I think you might be right there, but because now everyone knows that you need a player going into the next season, maybe because of this, the postponement we are seeing, the transfer window might be shortened or something like that, and you have a considerably less amount to get deals done, and that's when you start to see players prices inflate a lot. And as we all know, the other factor which comes into play is that United board is not competent enough to get deals done fast, so that might be a problem as well going forward. So we need to keep track of the recent developments and see what happens actually going forward. So that's kind of interesting to keep an eye out for as well.
Yeah, another news that was doing the rounds was that United was in advanced negotiations already for Jack Grealish of Aston Villa. But now
Yeah.
that the league's been will be rescheduled. The matches have been postponed, and Aston Villa are not likely to draw.
Right.
Do you think Aston Villa would be willing to sell Jack Grealish? Because had Aston Villa been relegated, we were looking at a price of around 40 million pounds. But with suppose in the situation that the league stands as it is, and
Mm.
every team starts the next season again with new teams coming up, but no team dropping out,
Right.
would you still see us paying 40, or would we have to pay 70 for him, considering that he will still be a star player?
I
Or
think this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think Paul Pogba will be leaving United next season. So I personally think he might be staying. And if Pogba stays, I don't see any need of getting Grealish into the team, because I think our midfield is kind of sorted as well, given we have like 5 options there. So Grealish might not be a good option to add to the mix again and start building a team from scratch. Maybe we can see if Pogba fits into the team, and Bruno and Pogba might be something which we might like going forward as well. So yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, you never know. Given Pogba's situation, anything might happen during the transfer window. So yeah, if Pogba goes, definitely Grealish should be the one, which should be United's top priority. So
well, that news was also doing the rounds.
right,
Paul
and I
Pogba
think
suddenly did a
the
turnaround.
one interesting thing you mentioned as well, like the format in which the Premier League is going to resume. Do you think that this season might be voided completely, or do you think they are going to start the season again where they left off and complete the season and then maybe push the next season a little bit forward or something like that? Where do you stand in terms of that? Because we all know that Euros have been cancelled, so that's, I think, the right decision going forward. uh, Euros can be done next year as well. So
Yeah,
whenever
Euros have
everything
been.
is clear,
I think Euros been moved out to the winter now for
yeah,
2021.
yeah,
So I think January the Euros will happen just like
right,
the FIFA World Cup in 2022 in Qatar.
right, right. I think that's the right decision for Euros. So what do you think about the Premier League? How do you think the format would look like in your opinion?
A lot of interesting opinions have been put forth by different stakeholders of the Premier League so far. You know, it's a
Hmm,
big tournament. A lot of money rides in the Premier League. Clubs, and the reason why clubs who get promoted by players is that they want to preserve the chance
right,
of staying in the Premier League. And some of these clubs have spent a lot of money. And if they fall, you know, if they go down into championship, they stand to lose money, and then they stand to
hmm,
out of the financial fair play rules in the English Championship. So
right,
I think clubs would be who are in the relegation zone right now would
hmm,
be happy if the league starts and they get relegated, or if the league, you know, if the way the league is right now is considered to be the end of the league.
hmm.
I don't think we'd have any happy parties there because a lot of
No,
going for top four. And Aston Villa has a chance of coming out of the drop zone because they have a game in hand.
right, right,
So a lot of clubs are still, you know, placed close together in the bottom half of the table and the top half of the table. So
right,
I think can, considering the league as is right now would be a good option.
hmm,
Another thing that was being purported was to hold a small tournament where, you know, a few clubs vie for the top four, and I think the bottom six clubs will fight to, you know, avoid relegation.
I would relegation.
In my opinion, seems to be a better way to go forward because, you know, if you consider top four, we have clubs
Hmm,
like City, Leicester, Chelsea, Man United, Sheffield United, Bulls. I don't think Tottenham's close by, but
I
Wolves.
think, yeah.
I think these 4 or 5 clubs have a better chance of getting
Hmm,
top four than other clubs. Maybe these clubs will play amongst themselves in a round robin format,
right.
fight for the top 4 places.
Hmm.
But then
But
again, Liverpool
the
has not
real
won the
question is,
title
do you
yet.
think? Yeah, yeah. That's the
So,
thing.
again, we cannot go ahead with that format. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The
Right.
best thing to do would be to cancel the league,
Hmm.
consider it null and void,
Right.
and then, start
Start all over again. Yeah.
where we were at the start of the previous season.
That is right. Yeah. I think,
And
yeah, you are absolutely right. Like, the talks of just handing the title over to Liverpool. I'm not saying this as like a United fan. I would love to not like Liverpool not getting the title, but it would be completely unfair on other teams as well. Like United will have something to say about it because they have a really good chance of getting into the Champions League now. And if Man City, the ban they have gets upholded, so we get into the Champions League. And if we get into the Champions League, now Sheffield United will be having a valid point saying that they have a game in hand and they might be the ones more deserving to get that spot. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, the only option I see, only two options I see would be to cancel the season and start all over again, and maybe provide some kind of incentives to the lower league teams so that they get some kind of financial incentive to start the season all over again.
it was
And the
being
other
said that. So it was being said that maybe Leeds and the team that's, I think, second in the championship will get a pass into the Premier League, and the Premier League will become a 22-team season because the lower leagues, they
yeah,
fight a lot to get into the Premier League, and they've already
right.
played 80% of the season or 90%
Mhm.
of the season.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I said, like, because they played almost 70 to 80% of the season, maybe they get compensated for that portion of the matches they have played. So financially, maybe they get paid some portion of if they would have uh, gotten promoted to the Premier League, so that they are happy as well. So maybe some kind of deal can be done there as well. And the other option would be to start the season off, where we left it, and complete the season and maybe push everything back depending on that. So those are the two valid options, and not actually handing the title over to Liverpool, even though they, yeah, let's admit it, they deserve to win the league, but that would not be the right way to move the Premier League forward. So
Yeah, and like the Italian league governor also came out with a proposal where he envisioned that the top four teams will play a round robin format to decide,
hmm,
and the bottom four teams will play in a round robin to decide relegation candidates. But I don't think that's fair to the team that's
yeah,
fifth in the table or a team that's
hmm,
you know uh,
yeah,
at 17th in the table because
right,
it's either too close to the top four or too close to relegation.
right,
So that's a radical. That'll be a radical change.
yeah.
But
But that will be really interesting to see the developments around it.
it will
So
be, and a lot of money is riding, and
yeah,
Sky
yeah,
Sports, BD Sports, all of those television deals, broadcaster
mm,
deals,
yeah,
a lot of money is riding on these campaigns. And if that doesn't go through, I don't know if
mm,
broadcasters will, put some pressure
right,
to at
right.
least play some of the remaining games.
Right. Yeah,
For,
I think that would be a priority for the league to complete it any way possible. Maybe, like you said, reduce number of matches, or if they have already played a team, I think, yeah, yeah, reduce number of matches in some way or shape or something, because broadcasters would be looking to get the money after like the current situation. They have been affected a lot in terms of monetary terms. So yeah, something should
and
be happening there.
and what about Liverpool? I mean, they've 25 points ahead of Manchester City, so
Hmm.
to winning the title. And it seems like a slip, a supernatural slip, I would say here, or the hand of God playing its part. But the
Yeah,
has never been this close to the title in the last
yeah,
50 years. And I don't think Liverpool, would be able to manage it like
no,
they did this
no,
time around, the
I don't
next
think
time
they,
around.
yeah, they yeah, I completely agree. I don't think they will be able to match their performances next season. So yeah, even though you would say Liverpool fans would say it's completely unfair because 25 points, it's not even possible to catch them at this moment. But still,
They
if
still
they are
haven't won the league.
handling, yes, so
There's a
that's
mathematical,
the point. Yeah,
and
that is
given
correct.
the form that they were in the last four games, where Watford beat them, where Atletico beat them twice over two legs, and they,
Never know.
Hmm?
Never know what could happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were not in a good form going into the
Yeah,
business half of the season. So maybe they could have lost, or drawn two or three other games, and it would have stretched. It would have seen Liverpool to wait getting longer for their hands on the title. So yeah, we never know, anything can happen in football. They could have lost all the games, but as a United fan, I'm happy to see that wait getting prolonged. We
right,
still haven't won a title, and one of the worst United teams still waiting for a title after 2013.
right.
Like a
Yeah,
sweet poetic justice for United fans at least.
yeah,
But yeah, that's that. Also, Man United's players were originally scheduled to report for training yesterday at Carrington, but that has been cancelled. Every player has been given individual training plans that they can follow, in their own spaces at home or any other space, close space
right,
they wish to train. So we would have seen Paul Pogba returning to training with the first team, but that will also have to wait.
right. I
And
think he'll come back strong now, so that's a good thing.
yeah,
And anyways, the health of the staff, health of the players is of the utmost importance at this moment.
hmm
So I think that's the right move as well, to
hmm
keep everyone away. And once everything settles down and we actually flatten the curve, that's
oh,
when we
that's
get to,
important.
yeah,
That's important, people. Please, please, please stay at home and try to delay the onset of coronavirus as much as you can. Flattening the curve means that we're not preventing the infection from spreading, it just means that we are slowing down the
delaying it. Yeah,
disease so that our hospitals do not get overwhelmed, because we just have a small limited supply of intensive care units, of ventilators, of doctors, and if our medical system is overwhelmed, then it will be bad news for everyone. So please refrain, from going out. Stay at home, meditate, read books, look up at videos like ours,
yeah,
subscribe to our channel, share our videos with every United fan that you see, or every non-United fan that you see. Spread the word about us. But please stay safe, stay at home, and enjoy your time right now. I mean, this is a time when you can follow your dreams, like we are doing here, pursue passions as well. So it's a
yeah. We can, yeah. Everyone can start doing something new as well.
yeah. And so, Sagar, I think it's time to wrap up our discussion today.
Yeah,
Well, folks, this is it for our video. I think it's our third video for the new year. What a year it has been.
what
But
a start, right?
yeah, I mean, it's just March. It feels like we've endured an eternity
Yeah,
already. But lots of things have happened, and a lot of developments will continue to happen. And we'll be back soon, we promise. So, both me and Sagar have decided to make at least two videos every week and keep posting content regularly and get your feedback, your questions, and your comments on what you think should happen with this football season ahead. Until next time, stay safe. Have a good day ahead. Ta-da!
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and also press the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest happenings regarding Manchester United.